There are many nefarious things done by Winston Churchill that very few leaders in history have done, for which may have compared Winston Churchill to Hitler. Many say Winston Churchill was worse than Hitler. We have already made 2 videos on this topic. Was Winston Churchill worse than Hitler? You can learn a lot by watching those videos. In this video, we will discuss the top 10 best controversies of Winston Churchill's career and show you how bad Winston Churchill was. I have divided this video into 2 parts. In the first part, we will discuss the 5 best controversies. In the next video, we will discuss 5 other controversies of Winston Churchill's career. So let's dive in. 1. Venom gas. Winston Churchill's stance on the use of chemical weapons, particularly against Kurds and Afghans, has stirred significant criticism. In 1919, as the Minister for War and Air, Churchill expressed a controversial view in a memo stating, "I cannot understand this squeamishness about the use of gas," and went on to endorse the use of poison gas against what he referred to as uncivilized tribes. Critics, including Noam Chomsky, have cited this cause to condemn Churchill. However, some argue that the controversy is misunderstood. Warren Doctor, author of Winston Churchill and the Islamic World, clarifies that Churchill was actually purposing the use of lacrimatory gas, akin to tear gas, not mustard gas. In his 1919 memo, Churchill suggested that the use of gas could have a positive moral effect, minimizing loss of life. He mentioned, "It is not necessary to use only the most deadly gases. Gases can be used which cause great inconvenience and would spread a lively terror, and yet would leave no serious permanent effect on most of those affected." Regarding using gas against Afghans, Doctor notes that Churchill questioned the fairness of killing a British soldier lying wounded on the ground while finding it supposedly unfair to fire a shell which makes the said native sneeze. It is too silly. However, criticisms persist, especially concerning British air attacks on rebellious tribes in the region. It's worth noting that Churchill supported the use of mustard gas against Ottoman troops during World War I, although this was during a time when other nations were also employing such tactics. 2. Views on race. Winston Churchill's views on race have been a subject of debate and criticism, with some leveling him as a racist and white supremacist. Last year, a Labour candidate, Benjamin Whittingham, sparked controversy by tweeting that Churchill fit these descriptions. Churchill's grandson, Sir Nicholas Thomas, and his conservative opponent Ben Wallace strongly objected to the comments, calling them ignorant and incredibly insulting. The Labour Party distanced itself from the remarks, stating that they did not represent the party's views, and Whittingham issued an unserved apology if any offense was caused. Historical evidence suggests that Churchill did hold beliefs that could be interpreted as racist. In 1937, he told the Palestine Royal Commission, "I do not admit that a great wrong has been done to the Red Indians of America or the black people of Australia. I do not admit that a wrong has been done to these people by the fact that a stronger race, a higher grade race, a more worldly, wise race has come in and taken their place." According to John Chumley, author of Churchill, the end of glory, Churchill believed in racial hierarchies and eugenics. In his view, white Protestant Christians were at the top, above white Catholics, while Indians were considered higher than Africans. Churchill saw himself and Britain as winners in a social Darwin hierarchy. Richard Toye, author of Churchill's Empire, acknowledges Churchill's views but points out that they were not unique of the time. Soames, Churchill's grandson, defends him, emphasizing that Churchill was a product of the Edwardian age and spoke the language of that era. It's important to note that while Churchill believed in white superiority, this did not necessarily translate to supporting inhuman treatment of non-white people. Comparatively, Toye argues that Churchill's views on race were incomparable to Hitler's murderous interruption of racial hierarchy. Despite his belief in racial superiority, Churchill did not condone inhuman treatment based on race. 3. Statements about Gandhi. Winston Churchill's strong opinions about Mahatma Gandhi, a figure now widely respected for advocating India's self-determination, have been a source of controversy. In 1931, Churchill expressed his disdain for Gandhi, calling him a seditious Middle Temple lawyer, and criticizing his half-naked appearance as he ascended the steps of the Viceregal Palace. On another occasion, Churchill argued that Gandhi should not be released even if they threatened to fast, stating, "We should be rid of a bad man and an enemy of the empire if he died." Today, Mahatma Gandhi is revered for his non-violent political tactics, but at that time, he posed a significant challenge to Churchill's vision for the British Empire. According to Boris Johnson's biography of Churchill's, Gandhi threatened Churchill's imperialist ideals, aligning himself with those who staunchly defend the Raj and the perceived entitlement of Englishmen in India. Churchill's views on India between 1929 and 1939 were considered abhorrent even within the Conservative Party. He vehemently opposed Gandhi and any moves towards Indian self-government, going against his own party's leaders and displaying hostility towards Hinduism. Churchill's stance reflects the perspective of a late Victorian imperialist, fearing that granting India home rule would lead to the downfall of the British Empire and the end of civilization. As per historians like John Chamley, Churchill's opposition to Gandhi was so pronounced that even younger Tories like Anthony Eden distrusted him during the 1930s due to his association with hardline right-wingers in the party. The opposition to Gandhi has been likened to Churchill's later warnings about Hitler, suggesting that Churchill's language remained consistent in both instances, raising questions about the reception of his early warnings. 4. Bengal Famine. In 1943, Bengal, still under British rule, faced a devastating famine, exacerbated by the Japanese occupation of Burma the previous year. The famine claimed the lives of at least 3 million people, and Winston Churchill's response, or lack thereof, has been a subject of criticism. Despite the urgent need for wheat in India, Churchill, according to author Madhusri Mukherjee, refused to meet the demand and insisted on exporting rice for the war effort. Mukherjee revealed that the War Cabinet ordered a stockpile of wheat for European civilians after liberation, diverting 170,000 tons of Australian wheat away from starving India. Churchill's controversial statement blaming the Indians for the famine, saying they breed like rabbits, adds another layer to the criticism. Historian Richard Twain notes that Churchill viewed the issue as a distraction and had difficulty taking it seriously. Despite Churchill's reputation for being far-sighted and prophetic, his response to the Bengal famine showed no improvement from the Irish famine a century earlier. While acknowledging the complexity of a global war, historian Packwood emphasizes that Churchill, running the war effort, faced conflicting priorities. However, Twain argues that although resources were stressed, better prioritization could have alleviated the problem with a relatively small effort. Author Arthur Harman provides a counterpoint, suggesting that the famine might have been ours without Churchill's efforts. Once fully aware of the extent of the famine, Churchill and his cabinet sought ways to alleviate suffering without compromising the war effort. Despite offering perspectives, the Bengal famine remains a significant and controversial chapter in Churchill's legacy. 5. Attitudes towards Islam. Winston Churchill's views on Islam have sparked controversy, with Paul Winston's arrest for reading aloud some of Churchill's thoughts on Islam. Quoting from Churchill's 1899 book, The River War, Winston highlighted statements such as, "How dreadful are the curses which Mohammedanism lays on its votaries." The quotes, often featured in internet memes, suggest an anti-Islam stance. Historian John Chumley acknowledges that such views were common in Churchill's era and believes Churchill likely held similar opinions. However, Churchill's stance on Islam was more nuanced, according to Warren Doctor. The 1899 book especially addressed the Mahdists of Sudan, reflecting Churchill's experiences in the war there. Recent revelations indicate that Churchill was intrigued by Islam to the extent that his family was concerned he might convert. In 1940, his cabinet allocated £100,000 for building a mosque in London to honor Indian Muslims who fought for the British Empire. Churchill expressed appreciation from friends in Muslim countries for the gesture. Doctor emphasizes that Churchill's relationship with Islam was more complex than commonly understood. Churchill's diverse experiences, including holidays in Istanbul and playing polo in India with Muslims, reflect a multi-faced perspective on Islam. While Churchill's early writings may suggest a critical stance, his later actions and expressions demonstrate a more nuanced understanding of the Muslim world. Alright friends, we have uncovered Winston Churchill's top 5 controversies. Now you want to know what you think. What moments do you believe make Churchill seem worse than Hitler? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will uncover more truths about Churchill's complex career. Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for the latest historical explorations. Stay curious, and we will see you in the next video.